to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at the Park House, 403 East Ohio Street, North Side. Thanks for everybody coming out. Looks like we got a great crowd here. We've got a lot of great guests we're going to talk to. Even if they're coming to see Smokin' Jim's show, I understand. We don't know the name of it, but this is Pittsburgh Sportsline, and this is my co-host, Smokin' Jim Frazier. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. We're seen on Verizon 32 everywhere, not all the way to Uniontown, sorry folks, but from Nemacolin, I've had friends there, so maybe you're close to Nemacolin, all the way up to Cranberry, Wexford, and most of the communities in Pittsburgh. Rebecca can walk past us. She's one of our featured guests. She's a champion, so she just walked by. Now that's where you can watch us. Comcast 7, everybody asks about it. It's only in Bethel Park. That's how Comcast set it up. I don't run the studio or the TV. I know it seems like that, except for Smokin' Jim, but we'll get into that later on. I want to thank everybody for all the likes on Facebook. We're closing in on 5,000 likes. We hit 4,000. Hold on, buddy. Let me say what the number is. Jim J always asks this, so I got a shout out to him. 4,896. Devin has my smartphone. What? 4,899. If somebody's here, could you like us for 5,000? Maybe one of my new friends that didn't like us yet. I don't even think Rosie and Bob are on Facebook, so they're trying to help Devin out. Then you got to like it right now. All right, well, thanks for that. We'll check that out later. And we start our opening segment with What's on Your Mind, and we're sponsored by Skeets Lewandowski. He has Skeets Service Station. He's our sponsor of this opening. And I just want to prepare anybody that's new to the show. Smokin' Jim, I'm going to ask you what's on your mind, and then everybody just listen, because he has great openings. I can't wait for this one because he predicted the Steelers would win, and they did not. So, Smokin' Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And if you want the green,
there you go.
You got to see Levine.
There's another bad one.
I want to thank everybody for coming out. We got the Uniontown Fight Club in the house. Hey, listen, the real men in sports are in the cage. No excuses in the cage. Win, lose, or draw, cage fighters are the toughest of them all. Hey, listen, we've had close to 400 shows on TV and YouTube. We interviewed over 500 guests, and we've inducted 15 people into the Pittsburgh Sportsline Hall of Fame. And on Monday, July 11, 2016, number 16 will be going in. Big hand for the newest member of the Pittsburgh Sportsline Hall of Fame, Aaron A. Aaron A, wave to all your fans.
Aaron A.
I was close. Hey, listen, number 78 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Villanueva, is the best left tackle I've seen since Anthony Munoz. And the big eye in the sky don't lie. He's 6'9", 330 pounds, and he's a war hero. He's a former airborne ranger, so the words defeat and retreat is not in his vocabulary. With 6'9" Villanueva and Big Ben, the Pittsburgh Steelers can win another Super Bowl. Who can? Big Ben can, and the big Mexican-American.
He's done. Smokin' Jim, they're all deaf. What did you do? And you're allowed to clap or anything, especially when Smokin' Jim makes comments like that. I thought we had a show, because my opening is going to be about the Steelers, that you predicted they'd win. I watched you on one of those other shows, Championship Chase. What happened?
Well, hard to win without Big Ben.
Thanks, Smokin' Jim. Your insight. He's an NFL scout, Steelers scout. I got no input from him. Here's what bothers me. 2 weeks ago, the Steelers win the game with a third-string quarterback. We're going to the Super Bowl. Now this week, I go around town, people are all depressed. we lost the game. Go figure. Now, people were going crazy that Big Ben should come back last week. Under some of that rush, Big Ben wouldn't have played the rest of the season. Now, I'm a little worried next week, too, depending on the game and how he trains this week, because you just don't turn an all-star quarterback on and off. It's not like your car. He had injury and he had damage, and how do you heal that up so quickly? I know modern technology can help, but everybody's saying he's the answer to it, but you do have a team on football. He is the best quarterback around in Pittsburgh for sure, and he's in the top 3 in my book. But I just hope he's ready to go and he doesn't tweak anything this week because we've already heard that with other players. But what I want to bring out is Landry Jones made some nice plays, got accused of an interception. Now, how'd AB get all these passes to him? He cried enough. He got a couple passes. What happened in the middle of the field where all of a sudden he catches a ball and throws it away? Now, I'm not looking for conspiracies, but it does make me think, Smoking Jim. What's going on? That's a 1-5 team. They're better than that. But the Steelers sure look like they could win that game before that point.
That's true.
All right, that's what's on my mind. We're going to bring up our guests right now. So. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, is that your name? Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes.
Okay, we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Now, I saw an interesting thing when you were in the cage. Smoking Jim told me about this young boxer that has a heck of a knockout punch.
Yeah.
And I see you in MMA, and I'm telling him, I go, boy, they're standing up. It looks like Liz is going to do fantastic. And he goes, wait till you see this. And I did see that. Now tell us what happened. Do you remember?
No, not really.
Okay, she won.
Yeah.
She won her first cage fight, and her trainer's there. He'll fill in some of the blanks because she was throwing punches that were headshots almost every punch,
Yeah,
and they were damaging to her. And I don't think you got hit more than once or twice.
I don't remember getting hit. It was pretty cool.
You know who you remind me of? This guy is named Greg Rudolph. He's one of the toughest guys I ever met. Okay? And I saw his first, what was it, boxing or cage match. His first cage fight. I never saw a performance like this where a guy didn't breathe. And we're friends. Don't look at a Christmas photo where he's sitting on my lap. That's another story. But he wasn't breathing, and he threw punches from the floor and was just unreal. He went from one side of the cage to the other, and it was over. And afterwards, I talked to him. I said, did you breathe? He goes, I am now.
Yeah. It's pretty stressful.
It is. Well, a lot of hard work goes into it. What got you into boxing and then MMA, if I might ask you here, since we're an interview show?
Well, I showed up at Bill's
Do you remember
gym.
any of it?
Yeah, a little
When
bit.
was this? Last year?
No, 3-4 years ago.
That's about right. Okay.
And I showed up there. I wanted to do MMA at first, and it just kind of took from there. I didn't really think I'd be good at boxing at all.
You never hit anybody until you got in the ring, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You got the right answer here. I'm not about domestic violence. Have all the violence in the cages and in the rings. And with Smoking Jim, because he'll talk you out of it and just keep smiling and grinning.
Yeah.
Okay, now we clarified that. So a lot of training went into this. Do you do road work too?
Road work?
You know, running? She's a younger generation. They don't know what that is.
I hate cardio. No, I can't run.
Well, you know you need that to go past one knockout.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a suggestion.
Yeah, I used to run with my daughter a lot with the stroller and everything. It didn't work out too well. So
What, for your daughter? Or
Yeah, she didn't like
okay.
it.
Well, they don't usually like that going 30 miles an hour downhill.
Yeah.
So you went into the cage first, or was it the ring?
Do
you remember that?
My first fight was the ring.
Well, I missed that. Do you remember any of that fight?
Yeah, it was really nerve-wracking. I wasn't breathing the whole time. That girl definitely gave me a run for my money.
Really?
But,
Because you
yeah.
weren't breathing?
No.
You weren't in the top shape you're in now?
No.
You know what? We could have moved. Oh, sorry, Debbie. We could have moved this a little closer. Can you hear her back there?
Who?
Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, because if not,
Sounds
she'll
good.
hit you.
No.
Barely. Just a hair.
Okay.
He's used to them.
Not the mic, her voice.
Hey, Dan, when I talk to you, there's nothing serious about you except your hair.
And that action figure in his pocket.
We're not going there because he'll talk about Natch and Woo and all this other stuff that, see, it'll be like at the Pirate game when they do that. Somebody's always Woo in there. It's him. No, he doesn't come in. So I gave you a little minute to think about all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, when are you fighting next?
There's supposed to be a title fight in December 19th for Virginia. It's 4 hours away. But
I'll be there.
Yeah, my trainer Bill thinks I can take that title pretty quick, so we're gonna try that.
I guess you're going to Virginia.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Any fights before then?
He said he was setting up a boxing match in November.
14?
Yes.
You know that's only a couple weeks away now. You look like you're ready to go.
Kinda. After watching my friends fight on Saturday, yeah, I just want to hop back in there.
Well, it sounds like you're a competitor.
I'm very competitive.
Well, that's a good thing. You're in the right sport. Both of them.
I don't. Boxing isn't my forte. I don't.
No.
No, I don't. I like the ground.
Do you? You like to wrestle and do rear naked chokes and arm bars and all those other things?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought you have a powerful punch. You don't think?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
I'm going to interview
that's my
your
bread and
opponents.
butter.
I'm interviewing your opponents, okay?
Don't do that.
I'm going to talk to them.
Upset.
Well, you just move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And that sounds like what you're doing. Well, I appreciate you coming all the way from Uniontown here.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, thanks, Smoking Jim. He connected us on
thank
all this
you.
stuff.
Thank you.
Bill Bosley, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. I've been watching you over the last couple years, and you told me about your secret sauce to your recycling. So I'm not going to tell everybody about it because it's not a secret.
No, it's not a secret.
But I kept seeing you at different fights, and I saw all these different guys coming out.
Yeah.
And it was just strange because then they'd fight. We'd see you at another event.
Yep.
And then I didn't see them right away, but I saw other guys. So I'm like, who is this guy? I was asking, and I found out.
Yeah, what we do is I have about 17 active fighters. So my pros get a 6-week camp, and my amateurs get a 4-week camp. And the guys that I use to get fighters ready for their fight are kind of fortunate because they get to go through a 6-week camp with the pros. They'll get to go to 4-week camp with the amateurs, which prepares them for the next step, which is going to be their fight. And then if they're an amateur, they get another 4 weeks. So in essence, they're getting about 10 weeks to prepare for a fight. And then I kind of let them take a month off, maybe relax a little bit, still come to the gym, get a little bit of training in. And some of them, like Liz is one, we'll let them box, and we kind of stay ready for boxing all the time. Cage fight, we have to get a little bit more prepared for that. But boxing, we always stay ready for boxing because it's always lab sparring 3 days a week. So I'll throw them in a boxing ring, let them box one time, and then as soon as they come out of the boxing match, then they go right back into somebody else's camp. So it's like a continuous 3 or 4 guys a card, women also, and then we just keep rotating about 17 guys.
It's an interesting recycling program.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
what we
that.
do, yeah.
When you call it that,
Yeah.
it made sense to me.
Yeah.
You're recycling through that.
Yep.
Now, how long have you been doing this, Bill?
I've been doing martial arts for about 8 years, 10 years. I've owned a gym for about 6, 7.
Okay.
And I started. I was actually just helping a couple of friends of mine with wrestling takedowns, getting ready for MMA fights.
Okay.
And
Were you a wrestler?
Yeah, wrestler. And I wrestled myself, and I coached wrestling for 14 years also.
Where'd you go to school at?
Lower Highlands.
Okay. We always try to test Smoking Jim if he knows somebody that when you went to high school or whatever else.
One of the all-time great running backs in WPIL history, Jimmy Smith, out of Laurel Highlands.
Yeah, and Sean, his brother Sean. My brother graduated with him. Yeah.
Smoking Jim's undefeated in the neighborhood doing that. He knows somebody from everywhere. If I ask him what happened yesterday, I just asked him about a photo. Did you see that photo?
Yeah.
He goes, when? That was before we got on air. Easy, relax, buddy. I'm glad you come through on that. Undefeated. You got a record that'll never be beat. He knows somebody from everywhere.
You got it.
Now, you did this in high school? You started wrestling in high
Yes.
school?
Yep.
Did you go on to college?
No. Well, I went to Penn State, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you box at all?
Nope. I started boxing with Ryan Rimzik.
Okay.
We were talking
We
about
know
him
Ryan,
earlier.
yeah.
Yep. And Phil Luciani a little bit, but most of my boxing with Ryan was with Ryan Rimzik. And I was doing my jiu-jitsu with Donnie Caker.
Okay.
And we would leave Saturday mornings, we'd leave Donnie Caker's and go right down to Ryan's gym. So,
That's one way to get into shape.
yeah. Yep.
You got some extreme training there,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, and I have to keep in shape because I got youngsters I got to keep up with. They still like to punch me all the time.
You're in great shape, and I saw you're rather aggressive in the corners.
Yeah, gotta be. They gotta hear me.
I see that. Well, what I like with coaches, and I've talked about it with numerous ones from different clubs, but with yours I noticed that you're proactive, and the thing that I like with what you do is you're actually guiding them for the next move.
Yeah.
You see certain things,
Yeah.
right?
I don't believe in coaching every move. I mean, if I throw a combination at you, you're not gonna do it.
Right.
It's your brain's working too fast. So if I can put you in a proper position, then your training kicks in, and you should know what you're doing. So I put them in positions and then let them do their thing.
And
They're the fighters.
And
not
I've
me.
heard you on the ground game. You get a little crazy there too.
Yeah,
with
that's
some
my
moves.
world there. Yeah.
Because I noticed that I'm right. I just sort of guessed that, but
Yeah, oh,
I
yeah.
saw how passionate you were. He's telling them to do these things, and I'm like about 10 feet away because we usually get nice seats at the
Yeah.
place. And you're all over it, and I'm watching a couple of these kids make these moves like you said.
It's like a remote control.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. You got recycling and you got remote control.
We
The
covered it.
Uniontown Fight Club. How do they get a hold of you? Is there any way?
Facebook is the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay.
I have a Uniontown Fight Club Facebook.
I've liked
and
it
then my
already.
Name too.
I've liked
So,
it, and I appreciate the likes back.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
And that's
I
the best
appreciate
way.
you guys. Yes, sir.
Well, Smoking Jim drove through the country, and he's terrible on driving.
Yeah, he got to visit us. Yeah,
He
I think I was
did.
babysitting that day too. I think.
Yes, sir.
He didn't tell me that
Yeah.
one. He just
Yeah.
said what a tough guy you are.
Yeah.
Now I saw there's a softer side to it.
The only way Liz can train is if she brings her daughter. So bring
Guess
your
what?
daughter.
She's going to train.
She's going to train.
You're trying to train winners, so I appreciate that.
what we do.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what we
Anything
do.
else you want to say about your club? We cover.
We got it. Yeah.
Okay.
We got it. We do jiu-jitsu 2 days a week, and
Okay.
we do stand-up 3 days a week. Boxing and MMA.
Sounds like it's pretty active there out in Uniontown.
Every day.
Well, thanks for the
Every day.
trip. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the interview.
Thank you.
Good luck to
Appreciate
you.
it.
I tell you what, in life, sometimes you meet somebody that's outstanding. You can tell that she has star qualities. She is one victory away from getting her pro card, and she is the newest member of the Pittsburgh Sportsline Hall of Fame. Big hand for Renee.
Well, after that introduction, I don't even know what to ask you. You're only one win away from being pro again, right?
I hope
thought you
so.
were pro.
No.
What happened? You were going somewhere and I lost track because
You know
Smoking
what?
Jim
I
didn't bring
made
you
second
on.
call outs at the show that I did. It was a very big show. I made second call outs. Very happy for the place that I was in. However, I'm not disappointed because I'm just going to keep going forward. And I'm going to keep trying because it's something that I want really bad and it's something I'm going to go for.
Well,
So,
good. When's the next competition?
My next competition won't be until the end of next summer.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Why are they waiting so long?
Well, I'm waiting to get my pro card. I'm using this season to refigure and rebuild my body the way that it needs to be, according to the judges. So,
You know what? We can't even. I can't ask any questions about that. Okay.
Okay.
I'll just trust you on this
all
one.
right, okay.
Where's your husband Joey at?
You know what? He's not here today. He's staying at home with all of our children. Yes.
He's a good babysitter.
He is a very good babysitter. I wish he was here with me today because he's the one that I hold my hand with whenever I got to go somewhere. I'm like, honey, hold my hand, please. So he always takes me there.
Well, you look pretty tall today. I don't know what
You know
happened.
what?
I
I think it's
noticed
the
that.
5-inch heels that I have on. I'm really excited about them too.
Well, just show Smoking Jim that because you want to hear us scream. Woo! Thank you. All right, back to training.
All right.
What do you? Go ahead. Anybody has to go to the bathroom or comes back from a
It's
bathroom?
10 cents to go in. Okay? If you want toilet paper, it's 25 cents.
Luckily, she's sarcastic. There's no charge for the bathroom facilities, only if you give money to the guests.
There is a tip jar, though.
Yeah, it's right with the peanuts there. All right, you have a training program?
Actually, I'm not really on a training program as of right now.
It's funny how
I
the
have
questions
a long
that I
spread
ask.
out. I have a long time frame before I compete. So I have November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, at least 9 months. So I have like at least 6 months
He's
to
good
play.
with that. Tell her what time
But I'm
before you
still
start.
I'm still working out. I'm still lifting weights, but I don't have a strict diet as of right now because I'm literally 9 months away. So 6 months of play and 3 months of hardcore training.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
But you'll be in somewhat shape. the
Oh,
whole time.
definitely, yes.
Okay.
Not somewhat. I will be in shape. I have to.
Anybody that tells me they're just
I
lifting
want to get
weights.
on the big wigs.
Well, Smoking Jim's our bikini scout, so I'll put him on that mission to
Okay.
find out.
Wait, are you a
Can
judge?
I say
Nah.
one thing? Months and months and months ago, you gave me some protein powder, and I just drank it the other day.
Oh,
It goes,
my.
best I ever had.
Really?
Oh,
That's
I'm
great.
Hooked. I'm hooked.
You know what? If you need anything else, you let me know.
I sure will.
Seriously will hook you up from Reaction
You know what? I
Nutrition.
have to have a disclaimer on the show. I don't believe anything he said because we've had Reaction Nutrition on the show.
Yes, I remember you guys got T-shirts.
Well, not only that, we got shakes, vitamins
Yes.
for men.
You know we have a whole line of supplements
Well,
for
mine-
men
misplaced it.
and women,
Well, wait, mine are all gone. They were gone within
and
2
for the
months.
genders in between.
No, we understand that,
kidding.
but you're missing the point.
I misplaced
Whatever you
mine.
gave him was 6-7 months ago. But we got 2 or 3 months after that. So he must have just found it, or he's just trying to
You
give
know
you
what
a
it is. You
compliment
get
to
so
get
much
more.
free stuff that is probably all piled up in your house.
It was so good. It's
You're
right
like,
next to
what's
my
this?
back.
Chocolate. I think I'm gonna have
It was
some
vanilla.
today.
It
No,
was
you know,
Okay.
you know what happens? He has a shrine for all the photos that you've given him and all his other sweeties. So there's now
I'd have
3
to see
rooms.
this. You gotta send in a picture.
No, he has 3 rooms of it.
Oh, wow.
Nobody's allowed to see it.
Okay.
Just
you know
like-
what? Are you telling the truth this time?
That's what he tells me.
See, I
Hey
don't know
Renee,
if I believe
hey
that.
Renee, listen to this. He tells us that just like we don't know his age. So what can I believe from him? You seem to think he's the greatest ever and he just finished that protein shake. How could that be? All right, enough debunking him.
Okay.
Good luck to you. Now we
you.
know you're having a 6-month rest period, but
Yes.
still working out.
I'm still training. I'm still working out. I don't eat a bunch of junk food. You know, I enjoy myself on the weekends and a little bit here and there. I'll have my chocolate chip cookies and, you know, my cakes and whatnot. But for the most part, I don't eat crazy every day. I don't have a strict diet.
Well, don't tell him anymore. Get him another protein shake because this is getting crazy. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
We'll have you on before you compete again.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you so
Take
much.
care.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the newest member to our Sportsline Hall of Fame. We don't know where it'll be at, but we know what day it is. Rebecca, thanks for being on our show. Could you introduce yourself? Tell us your name.
My name's Rebecca Ager.
Okay. And now, I know you were in a competition because Bobby sent me something and said I had a vote for you, and I had some difficulty on my smartphone and then on my computer. But we worked it out. I got one of the last votes in for you.
Yeah.
And tell them what you're competing for.
It's actually a cover model shoot for a magazine called Jet Set. It's a magazine that you actually find on private jets, yachts, vacation
So
destinations.
it's an exclusive
Yeah,
magazine.
it's usually a famous person on the cover.
You're Pittsburgh
so-
famous. You're on Pittsburgh Sportsline. You're going to get good karma now like everybody else.
Yeah.
That's
so-
what we do.
Yeah, so somebody asked me to enter. I honestly thought I was a little bit too old to enter, but they said no, so I did it. And there's probably about 75 to 100 girls from each state. And
You beat them all in PA.
I beat them all in PA, yeah. So I'm the PA winner. So we'll be going against all the United States and one international. But it's a pretty good prize. It's over $100,000 cash and prizes. And,
If you can win
the cover.
the
Yeah.
final.
Yeah.
Now, what happens that you won now? It gives you the right to go further on?
Exactly, yeah, and it's all social media voting, so Twitter and Facebook. So the more votes I get, the better. You can vote every day.
Hold on a second. We like helping other good people from Pittsburgh. How do they vote for you?
They'll just go on to either the Jet Set website, or they can go on to my Facebook, my Twitter.
How about we channel them towards Facebook,
Yeah.
since we do Facebook with ours? And,
Yeah.
we're almost at 5,000. Maybe we hit that while I was stuttering here.
Right.
So
Yeah.
tell them your Facebook page again.
It's
and
just
spell
it's
it.
just Rebecca, Rebecca, last name Eger,
There you
and
go.
it'll have IFBB Pro in the parentheses.
That's how you know you have
That's
the right
how you know
lane.
it's me.
Plus, remember this space. Now, what got you into this type of competition?
I did a little bit of fitness modeling my whole life since I was in my 20s. So, but
Now you're only 32, so we
Yeah,
understand.
I wish I was
Except
only
when you
32.
posted on Facebook.
I wish. But that's how I really got into it, just from having connections on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, I have a big following just from competing. So somebody approached me and asked me to enter it. So I figured, what
And
the
you
heck?
just did.
I just did,
And you won.
and I won.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And when's this vote over for the next step?
The final voting actually starts on Thursday, and it ends. What it does is it goes down to the top 25, then the top 10, then the top 5, and then the winner. So the winner is actually chosen. I think it's like the first week of December. So it's about a 5-week process.
Wow. And now,
Where I get to
can
drive
we vote,
everybody crazy
can
on
we vote
Facebook.
early? And
You can
Bobby
vote every
drive,
day.
Okay, can Bobby drive me crazy then?
Yes, I'll drive you
And
crazy
say, would
too.
you please help? You too.
Yeah, I need people with a lot of following on their Facebook.
Well, see
to post
Smoking
for
Jim,
me.
because he lets you post anything on
There
his
you go.
Facebook page, even if it's X-rated. You can do
If you
it,
don't, I know where you are.
definitely. But
They
here's the
get her after
problem. Yeah, but here's the problem with Smoking Jim. He doesn't notice a lot of stuff on Facebook, even though he has a lot of followers. He's grabbed over 900 of my followers. I mean, is that amazing? And I've been only on Facebook 3 years. He's got like 11 years on here. And I'm beating him by 400. He's very competitive, but in case you didn't notice, so am I. He's not catching me. But he has so many
jeez.
people on there looking at his page that he doesn't see it. So you got to do something outstanding, like say
Yeah.
private message him.
You
Smoking
have to
Jim.
give me some pointers.
All right, I'll
What to
help you
do.
out there. But we will help you. This will help promote you, and this will be
Yeah.
on YouTube within a day or two. This show will be up on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock to 8. If you're in the Pittsburgh and greater Pittsburgh area, Verizon 32, as I said previously, in case you're not listening, and you are now, Verizon 32, 7 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday night. So there will be other times that people can see the show. And I will scrape a link for you. That means I'll post it on your page. And
Awesome.
people that have been here before, you're a newbie to our show, so I appreciate you coming here. Liz will get one too. I'll put it there. And same with Bill. I'll put this link on your page.
Awesome,
So then you'll
thank
have
you.
it. And it's always going to be on YouTube. So I appreciate you being a guest. Anything else you want to bring out?
Well, no, unless you want to talk about
What?
my competitions next year. Actually, I don't know which ones I'm in yet, so we'll save that for next time.
I appreciate sarcasm. We almost were going to go there, but then I remembered that you were sarcastic. And he believes you.
Just
that
a
you
little
will,
bit.
No, he believes that you'll talk about next year's competition, so don't keep him waiting. I'm serious. At least tell him what month it might be.
Definitely the Masters Pro, but that's not until
What month?
That's not until Labor Day weekend. But
Okay.
I was thinking about maybe the Toronto Pro.
Love your high cheekbones.
Wow, thank you.
What can I say?
I like your chubby cheeks.
You know what? That's enough of this love fest. He's trying to get more sweeties for Jimmy. That's it for tonight with you. Rebecca, good
Thank
luck to
you.
you. Thanks for
Thank
being a
you.
guest.
Thank
And
you.
we'd like to have you on after you win that cover.
Definitely.
All right?
All right.
Rick Steigerwald, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad that he's a North Side guy.
My neighborhood.
I know. Tell me about your old neighbor that you just ran into. We're going to
Yeah.
go a little off boxing right now.
Rebecca, family, her mom lived in my neighborhood right up the street. We just made the connection before. She knew the Steigerwalds, and
Your family.
I'm not surprised.
Well,
We
you
usually know
Northside
somebody.
guys, thanks for letting us come into Northside in your territory. I know it's been a little difficult getting us in here.
Well, you guys did pick up your permits, right? Because if you didn't, I can get.
Hold it.
I can sign you up right
There
now.
was a guy out there said, I need $5. I didn't know it was for that.
That was for the permit.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
At least we got that
Yeah.
clarified. Now, it's just an honor to have you on. You're the boxing commissioner in Western Pennsylvania. Is that what the title is?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I see you at MMA fights. I see you at boxing. And you're a student of the game. Not only were you a great referee, I always appreciated when you were there because you like to have the fighters fight. You didn't like all that. If you're out of shape, they're falling asleep there or trying to hang on. And I know you're proactive with this, and you got some new ideas that you're trying to bring in. And we talked a little bit about it. Could you explain what you're trying to do with the concussion?
Yeah.
Things that are happening.
Yeah, I appreciate that. What you said. Also, I appreciate you guys coming to all the fights, the MMA, the promoting that you do. I mean, not many people's doing that. I mean, you look on TV, they won't even touch any boxing or MMA. It's too brutal. It's too this.
Hold it. There's great people here, inside and outside of a cage in a ring. My thing is, a few bad apples. So what? At least you're not fighting out in the streets.
Yeah, but there's bad apples in everywhere. Look at the
Right.
government. You wanna talk-
Hold it.
That's a bushel. That's a bushel basket.
This is not our political show. I'm outspoken on that. We'll have that another day.
It's a bushel basket.
Hold it. Have you ever
But
been
anyhow.
concussed?
Yes.
Okay, we're on concussion talk
All
right
right.
now.
Maybe that's why I forgot. But
No, you're on a roll. We appreciate your compliments too. I don't want to make light of
Yeah,
that.
no,
What
no,
we're
no.
trying to do is promote how there is good in all these sports,
Yep.
and it helps you further in life. Whoever thought that you'd be a commissioner?
not me.
That wasn't your goal.
Not
And look-
anybody in here either.
Well,
Movie star.
Please.
well,
I'm
we
blushing.
got one liar in the crowd, but that's okay.
Oh, you're gonna shoot down my one person's gonna go. You're gonna shoot.
Well, he
him.
never told me
Oh, for
beforehand.
God's sakes.
If he would have told me once beforehand that you were going to do it, you gave us the scoop on our show
Yep.
that you were in the running for it,
Yep.
and then we were pulling for you. So if that's what he's talking about.
No, he's talking about the movie I was in, Southpaw.
Ah, now that's better. I needed a clarification. I take that back.
Yep.
We're still talking concussion here, not the Will Smith movie, what he's doing here.
Anyhow, what we try to do is, because of, concussions in sports is like so big right now, and but nobody ever touched the boxing or MMA fields about it.
Which is surprising.
Surprising, but nobody's been sued yet. None of the organizations. I don't want to throw that out there, but that's the reason the NFL got into it. With these pros guys dying and taking their own lives and whatnot. So what I've done since I became commissioner is I traveled to Cleveland. I went to the Cleveland Clinic. I talked to the people in charge. I found a guy. I talked to Greg Serb, the director of boxing in Pennsylvania.
Sure.
He said, "Good luck with that." trying to get. Well, what do you? At first I thought, geez, that's an off-color remark when I'm trying to do something good here. But what happened was, it's trying to get everybody. Right now, what we're doing is we're doing a protocol testing with the Cleveland Clinic. And it's on the young fighters, the amateurs. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to put that together. And once we test these guys, then we'll come back after 2 months and test them again. So we'll get a baseline on them.
Right.
So that will fall into the rest of their life. They can always pull it up. They get in a car wreck. Anything happens. The doctor says, well, maybe you're like that a little bit. No, here's my...
You got the baseline.
You got the baseline, Also, there's a program right now that they put together in Cleveland for ex-fighters. And I've met so many guys that I fought with and after me that, they're having a little bit of a hard time in this day and age. You know what I mean? They're slurring their words and they're forgetting what they're talking about and whatnot. And there's a program for them, too, and it's free.
You're kidding.
So anybody that
How
wants...
do they get a hold of? Get a hold of you?
Get a hold of me, and what I'll do is I'll put your name in with Cleveland Clinic. They will pay you to go up there and get tested. It's a 4-year study. It's for
Really?
ex-pros, or even if you're a pro right now, and you feel like, maybe I should get tested.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good.
Boy, is that fantastic.
Listen,
So contact Rick. You
Yep.
can see him on Facebook.
Yep.
Get a hold of him.
Yep. Or call him and he'll.
You call us. I got his number.
Everybody has his number, right? Anybody in here don't have his number?
Don't say that. Don't say that. I didn't think I was that easy.
You're pretty popular.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, that's really fantastic. We need that here, and it's about time.
We do, you know what I mean? Listen to me. All these guys that I fought with coming up, you know, and it's sad. I was just with Kelly Pavlik not long ago. Jim, you was down to fights with him. Did you get a chance to talk to him?
Punched him.
It's just a little bit off, you know what I mean? And is that from fighting, or what's that from? I don't know, but I know this. If they catch it soon enough,
right.
The guys that are teaching me about this, Frank Karuba and Akil from the Cleveland Clinic, they're teaching me about it. If you catch it enough, you can take medicines. You know, because a lot of times it's the onset of Parkinson's comes on after.
Look at Muhammad Ali.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and he's lasted so long because of the medicines.
Sure.
Now, can you imagine catching it sooner? You know, the Paul Spataforas, Conley, Danny Conley, Richie Felsing, you know, Monty Mesa Clay. You know, I'm worried about these guys. I refereed all of them, you know. Some of these guys I fought with. And I don't want to see them the rest of their lives. And that's one thing I got to say is a lot of these young fighters today, Jack Mook, the gym on Northside is going to be the prototype.
Steel City Boxing.
Steel City Boxing is going to be the prototype because the new guys that have come in here over the last couple of years that are training these kids are stand-up guys.
Right.
You know yourself, over the years, there's been a lot of talk about different gyms and different people that aren't for the kids. They talk about being for the kids, but they're not for the kids.
We've had these discussions off air. I don't know why Smoking Jim's laughing.
I know why he's laughing.
Well,
but it's important. It's important now, though, that we have somebody that'll make sure that them same kids are there in 3 weeks or a month when we come back to test.
Sure.
You know what I mean? To find out when you might go from 5 fights to 10 to 15 fights in that amount of time.
Sure.
There might be a difference. Some people are more susceptible to the concussions than others. We see
it
that
sounds
all the
like
time.
you've been studying this too.
A little bit. You know what? I'm studying it so much, and I've done that all my life, like the boxing, and like you said, I know a lot about it. That's what I'll do. I'll dive into it, and I'll go. And I was just talking with Serb today.
Right.
And he said, good luck, you know. But what he means is trying to get everybody to show up and to follow up. And that's the hard part about getting these pros to go up to Cleveland. If I have to rent a van to take them up there, I will do that.
You've heard it there. I wanted you to share a story about when you were a referee studying the rule book. Because we're at the fights, and I know I am a lot. My dad was a basketball referee who studied a book all the time, and coaches would call him. And we had a little discussion today. I wanted you to share it because we asked, like, how do these judges, how do these referees come up with these decisions? And it should be determined on a rule book, correct?
Yes, it should be.
Okay, because that's where I don't see it.
I know.
What possessed you to study even more than you needed to? Because some of these guys and girls, it makes you wonder, and they're in a key spot there.
Well, me personally, because I fought, and I had been on the receiving end of bad decisions or bad refereeing. You know, it happened to me in Philadelphia for the state championship in '77.
I hear a lot of that happens in Philadelphia.
It happens in Philadelphia.
Even today.
20 of us went up for a fight, 19 of us lost. Could that have happened? I don't think so, you know. Danny Fiala was on that, fought with me up there. You know Danny and Tony. But one of the things that I believe in is, and I've always done this as a referee, whoever wins, wins. I don't care if you're from Philadelphia, Missouri, New York, California. If you win a fight, you win a fight.
Yeah.
You know, God bless you, you know what I mean? You'll fight another day, and maybe it wasn't that your fighter in that time's day. Sure. So I've always kept that in the forefront of my mind. I was not biased when I walked into the ring on who the Pittsburgh fighter was. It's like, who's the best fighter today?
Right.
The other thing is, I owe that to them guys. To know the rules and to be the best referee I can and be fair. You know?
That's an interesting attitude because you don't hear that a lot today.
Well, it meant a lot to me. I grew up with that with my dad, and you know, and being on the receiving end, like I said,
sure.
I know how important it is because a lot of times, and everybody in here that's in the fight game knows, you'll get kids come in and they'll do real good in the gym, and all of a sudden they go and they get something happens in a fight, like it was hands down, they won the fight, and the next thing you know, they get discouraged and they walk away, and you're like, wait, you know. Or the other end of that too is they go in a gym and a trainer doesn't care about them, which I was talking about earlier, and next thing you know, he needs sparring for his main guy, and this kid gets beat up, he don't come back. That's not right. And that's what I'm saying about this Jack Mooks and guys like him, Ted, what was his last name, Majoras?
Makanja.
Makanja,
Conja. Ted's a good
and
guy.
Muscles.
Yeah.
You know,
and look, we got another guy right here
Bill,
recycling those guys,
well,
giving them 10 weeks.
Just from hearing what he's,
Devin, what
what
time
Bill's,
do we
I don't
got?
know Bill that well, and I watch him at the fights. He's on it. He watches his guys. He takes care of them, and that's important. You know, a lot of times, and he'll attest to this. You get your heart broken. People walk away. They don't show up. The weigh-ins, you pay the money for their fee. You know, there's so much to this.
Yeah.
You know,
you're right.
The emotion of this. To do battle with somebody in front of all your friends and your family, and all of a sudden some people can't handle that. And they walk away. Last minute. Walk away. You know?
Sure.
I've been in the ring with a guy that out here that was a pro that sold tickets years ago, and he was the main event. And he didn't show up.
No way.
Not once, but twice.
Wow.
And he was suspended for
What was he just afraid to come in? Or who
listen,
knows?
man, I'm not in his
He
mind.
could bang too. He could bang.
He
I
could
know
bang.
what you're talking
You know what I mean? If he
Well,
let
don't
it
mention
go.
any names on Pittsburgh
not doing that.
Sportsline because maybe they're still around.
We're not even allowed to talk about politics, so.
No politics tonight.
Yeah.
God bless America.
Yeah.
I can say that, right?
But I think it's important. I really appreciate you guys having me on so I can talk about this.
Sure.
Because, you know, I care about these kids. What I'm doing now is I'm traveling to all the gyms. We
Right.
just had fights here at the Priory. You guys worked that
Yeah.
fight down there. We talked almost the whole time.
Right.
I got to honor my old trainer, Jack Stuttermeyer, which meant a lot to me. This guy gave
That's
his
passing
whole
the
life.
torch, you know, to the next generation, showing him, honoring him, and his family was there.
He gave his whole life. I brought his son in, who was a preacher at Penn State main campus for 30 years. Just
Great
retired.
great speaker.
Unbelievable, you know. So I want the tradition to go on, but I want it to be like it was in the old days, where everybody, you know, really gave a crap about the other guy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I watch these MMA guys. I'm really impressed.
What'd you think of the fights on Saturday?
They were great fights, you know. And Cherico, I think,
Yeah.
he
His
retired.
last fight, yeah.
You know, he's a great fighter. You know,
Right.
but
he's had enough. He had certain goals. He wanted to obtain those.
That's what I was.
And then
more
he's
impressed-
walking away.
That's what I was more impressed about.
Right.
He knew when to walk away. A lot of these fighters, see them guys. Here's the difference. A lot of MMA fighters were college educated because they wrestled in college, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the fighters are directly from the streets or from the joint,
Right.
or wherever.
That's prison for you.
Don't get me wrong. They're street educated. But they're not educated enough to know when to walk away.
Good point.
And when I seen that guy do that, he choked the guy out.
Yeah.
What, second round? If I'm not second round, right?
Well, don't give up too much of what Dan Bogan's going to talk about.
That's what I'm saying. So here's a guy that's fighting. That kid was tough, and his brother's tough too. I understand. You know, I was talking to Serb today about it. He goes, "That was no easy day at the beach for him." But here's the best part about him knowing how to walk away. He cares about his family. He wants to be a good dad and a good husband, right? And priorities. And he wants to get involved in judging and refereeing now. He talked
Really?
to Greg Serb, and Greg's high on him doing that. Hopefully, you know, you never know what happens when somebody walks in the ring. Believe me, we've been through a lot of referees.
Sure. You need him.
And when I retired, you know, we're having a hard time getting somebody
That's why I'm saying you need referees.
to fill the spot.
Sure.
Our amateurs, that's what the important part is. Our amateurs, the judges and the referees and the amateurs are part of the solution. So if they're not on, USA Boxing's not on the same page as Pennsylvania State Boxing Commission, you know, they need to be, you know, they're a separate entity, but they're here at the privilege of Pennsylvania.
Sure.
So they got to kind of help us, you know, cultivate. What they do is they like to rotate all the judges. One minute you're the glove guy, the next minute you're judging the fight, the next minute you're in the ring.
I've seen that.
You know, in all honesty, that doesn't work. Because not every, and believe me, I'm not knocking them. I'm so happy that they're volunteering.
No, but this is your opinion on it. It's
my
And this
opinion.
is what I wanted to hear because we've had Skeets on our show. And we say, how many hats can Skeets wear in one night?
Right.
It's like 5 hats.
Right.
And how do you keep track of doing the best job when you're thrown into the fire, like over here, over there?
Exactly.
That's what I wondered.
You walk from getting the gloves off a guy and he's mad he lost the fight and you're fighting with him and you got to go up and ref. That's what I'm saying. I had to focus. I used to leave work early, even in the amateurs. Leave work early, come home and go back over the rules 2 or 3 times.
Tell them what your job was because it wasn't an easy job.
I was a steam fitter, pipe fitter, 38 years out of local 449.
There you
Pittsburgh
go.
here.
I always like to promote a little bit there.
Just retired. And all of a sudden, the governor thought I was good enough to be the commissioner of boxing. You know, Governor Wolf, thanks so much. And the ex-governor, Corbett, he endorsed me too, you know.
Pittsburgh guy.
Pittsburgh guy.
How could he not? He probably saw you fight
That's what
back
I'm
at
thinking.
Monzo's.
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, you know.
Well,
All I know is I think it's important that we all get on the same page because somehow some people, you know, there's a lot of heat in boxing.
yeah.
You know, and
We've seen
MMA.
it.
There's a lot of heat. And when people get heat, but what I like most about the MMA guys is that every one of them, a guy gets down, you know, the other guy's fair with them. They shake hands, they hug each other, they care about each other. And boxing is a little
I
bit
think it's
different.
a lot more respect with the hard work they do, and just sometimes defending yourself on the bottom, you exert more energy. Yeah, I know. I'm amazed because I see these guys that are beasts.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and I've seen them wear out,
Exactly.
and they're just defending themselves.
Yeah.
So you're right. You're spot on. Boy, you've learned MMA a lot quicker than I thought.
Well, I'm paying attention, you know, because I want to help them out too, you know.
Well, they appreciate it. I know the MMA guys and trainers. They go, boy, that Rick's something else.
Yeah,
In a
watch.
good
I
way.
try to walk around and not get in the way, but I'm kind of learning from Ronnie Russitano and
Sure.
Greg and, you know, the different trainers on how it works and the size of the gloves and,
Yeah.
you know, who hands out the
Or
gloves.
the lack
and-
of the size of the gloves.
Yes. You know?
That's what I noticed.
I tell you what, I got bags. I got gloves like that I hit the bag with. I wouldn't want to get hit with them, you know.
No, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Well, Rick, I want to thank you for your time and explaining what you're doing, how to bring old school with modern techniques and to protect the punch-drunk guys that we've seen over the years. I wish you the best of luck.
I
on
really
that.
appreciate it. I just want to tell you guys that Andrew Stocky and Wendy Bell doesn't have anything on you two guys.
All right.
Well, Wendy's a little cuter than Smoking Jim, I'll tell you that much. You got Dan Bogan, the dreadlock reggae DJ. Oh, I'm sorry. Gladiators of the Cage.
Ring announcer?
Ring announcer. I've remembered that. That was a silent pause for you to get your notes together.
Thank you. I need that.
I know. This is the only time we have a scripted show.
No, it's just
It's the Bogan hour.
Of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most, so I need to make notes. And can you read any of that?
No.
Me either. So let's.
You know
it's
what?
gonna
I
be-
can read hieroglyphics.
That ain't.
It's on the pyramids. Here, use your pen.
Thank you.
All right, let's get started on this. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you, and it's always a pleasure. I always feel fine when I'm on the line, and it's great being in the geographic
Here.
proximity of such greatness. Thank
I'm
you
glad
so
he
much.
said proximity. You know what amazes me?
Ontology, Timothy.
I understand you're close. He sends me a message about the line. I go, do you mean Pittsburgh Sportsline? He goes, yeah, all the cool kids call it
That's
the
why I
line.
still call it the sports line. We're on the line tonight. Like you're on the book, you're on Facebook.
like that.
We're on the line.
I like that.
All right, you're on the line. How's MMA?
MMA's doing fine, I think. Before we
On
start,
the line. It's fine.
Well, if you don't whine, I'm fine.
Okay.
Be kind, all right?
Now that we've
Anyway,
got all that.
before we start, I want to let you know the German Jaws of Steel, Baron von Bogen, my beloved German Shepherd, still says he will consider coming onto your show if you double the fee, what you pay the talent to be on the show. Well, talent's a loose word, what I'm here, but anyway, what you
The
pay
lack of?
your guests.
Yeah.
He'll double that. He's willing to come on the show. So
I'm going to do you one better because I have more respect for him than you know. Triple.
You know what? He told me if I could get triple, I could take 25% of the cut, like an agent fee. I said, I'll try. I'll see what I can do.
I'll
see
put
what I
that
can
in writing right now.
All right, thank you. And I let him know.
Because he can read.
Well, he can, and he's
I'm
like
saying-
he's like me. We're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, so we might take you up on that offer.
I understand. And if anybody's watching this for the first time, I don't know if I can post when he first started up. I may start at 3 minutes into that.
Oh, good idea.
Thanks, Dan.
Second thing,
Oh, okay.
I gotta let you know, I'm wise to it. Zach Brenner, Double A, the Amish Assassin, Lil Z, Zach Brenner, let me know why I was here this week. It wasn't the Gladiators of the Cage show. It's Halloween week, and you wanted somebody ugly and scary on. I said, we got a cross between Lurch and Frankenstein's monster without any
wait.
makeup. Let's bring him.
I'm going to kill him.
Let's bring this guy on the show.
Die. Oh,
And we got it covered, right?
My eye.
But I still appreciate. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And Gladiators of the Cage and Epic Leap
hey,
Entertainment.
that was real hair, except it cut me here. Anybody got a tourniquet? Come on.
All right.
Now that we got all that cleared out, we'll
let-
start now. 5 minutes into this.
You're here to have me give you a recap of our Gladiators of the Cage 19 show at the Sirius Shriner.
Well, not as in-depth as our man, Steel Nation Magazine,
No,
MMA expert.
Handsome
Handsome
Jim
Jim
Ajay.
Ajay.
He's also handsome and wise to some people, but to me, and I'm not going to mention anything more about that. But
Okay.
handsome Jim Ajay, and this is going to be an edited, or the
I hope we get
liner
to the
notes,
point.
the short version.
POINT and not the
All
Pittsburgh
right,
points.
let's start with our recap for this weekend show at
Thank
the
you.
Gladiators of the Cage, and we missed you there very much, by the way,
I know,
young man.
I was helping
You had
with
better
some
things to say.
scholarships and fundraisers in Bethel Park.
We'll let you slide for that, and
Okay.
that only.
I'll be
All
there
right.
the next time.
Our amateur card started with Kahim the Dream Murray against John Lianku. We had a split decision, and the night started like I would not want to be a judge for the athletic commission. That was a tough one. Even your man Jim Ajay called it differently, but we had a split decision win for Kahim the Dream.
Ajay was wrong.
That's one. He only gets one. It's one in a row. It's a new streak for him. Okay.
That's
Then
a
Justin
shock.
Patton fought Jonathan Kaufman, and round 3, rear naked choke win by Justin Patton. Now, I'm a word guy. The origin of words and phrases, Jim, work with me on this. You get the guillotine choke. You get an arm bar tap out. Where did the rear naked choke phrase come from? I get the rear and I get the choke. The naked part still has me wondering and thinking fondly of Ronda Rousey and Jessica Evil Eye. And anyway.
I'm glad this is a family show. I didn't know where it was going.
All right, our third fight.
Where did it come from, though?
I don't know. That is a mystery to me, and
So
I'm
this
kind of
is for
curious.
our MMA experts that are wordsmiths.
The Uniontown Fight Club people or Mr. Steigerwald from the State Athletic Commission probably could be of much more help than I could.
Not
be.
right now. You're on your own.
Right now. Our third fight was the ladies of MMA. We had Mercedes Timmerman and from Lower Borough in the Mat Factory, Gina Tellerico. It was a unanimous decision, 30-27. All 3 judges for Mercedes Tellerico, and she came from North Platte, Nebraska. They flew her out because they said, we're going to put you on a bus. That's not fair. You won't. Gladiators of the Cage flew her out because we want our fighters to be
Fresh.
We try. Seriously, very serious note. We want fighters, local, out of town. We want them to leave saying, "Well, they treated us professionally, with respect, and with dignity, and we're professional with us."
And you want great fights.
We do, yeah. And if we have to go out of town to get them, we don't have a problem with that. And we try to treat
Is that
everyone
the
well.
furthest that you've?
No,
gone
we've
somebody in?
had Ohio. I mean, we've had Ohio's a little closer. Right, we've had Canada. We've had Hawaii. We've had Pakistan.
Hawaii.
We've
Pakistan.
had East Pakistan. We've had Bosnia. We've gone into Europe and guys from Europe come over here and fight. Seriously,
Really?
I
Can you name one name? It's been from Eastern
Beksadat
Europe.
Marakhmanov.
How did you know that name?
He's one. There's a couple of her.
Okay.
There
You
are
passed
some-
the test. I wanted to try to stump you, but one answer is better than none.
There are several, and we've had a great following out of Canada and all the states. And I was going to get into this later, but I want to send out a special shout out to the Ohio crew. 2 shows back, Rob Hanna coming out of Dayton. We had 2 fighters this last weekend from East Liverpool, Ohio.
Yeah.
We have a great fan base in Pittsburgh, but I call them the Buckeye Brigade. You talk about Chris Dempsey, he has a great following, and Mike Wilkins, they blow the roof off of. But these people have been coming out of Ohio, have been supporting their fighters unbelievably well, and we appreciate that. And I hope we get to go back out to
I was
Ohio
just
to
going to
take our
ask
show
you,
out there.
Are you going to go back out to Ohio?
You'll have to ask Scott Benton about that. They're trying to work on it.
Well,
I
we
hope
don't want to
do.
scoop them on it. Let's
No,
hope they do.
I don't know. They keep me out to the last minute because
I
they
understand.
know.
Loose lips.
Telephone,
Sink ship.
Telephone, tell a ring announcer it's out there. It's
That's
bad
why
news.
you're in a ring announcer.
That's right. Well, anyway,
You got to get it out.
Mercedes
Okay.
Timmerman won unanimous
Unanimous?
decision, 30-27, all 3 fights. And then our 4th fight was Mick the Problem O'Brien against I think he was from the Mat Factory.
You have any
Dylan
other-
Weston. Yeah, it is, but I won't.
Okay.
One
You can
minute,
look at him.
1 minute 26 seconds, round 1.
Really?
Rear naked choke, Dylan Weston.
There's where we got it.
Right, that's where we came up. Then from the Uniontown Fight Club, we had Travis Layton and Andy Spool, I believe it was. Now, this was a 8 seconds guillotine. 18? Okay, that's right. You're right. I have it here. I just can't
I
read
should
my
have
read.
just asked
18-second
Bill on this one.
18-second tap-out guillotine choke for Travis Layton.
What round?
1.
The first round.
When he goes pro, he says, I'm not getting paid by the minute, the hour, the second.
Just
even.
get it done.
I'll get it done. So he's getting early into this attitude. Unbelievable. And I do want to say, let's see, Vince Meng was on the card. And again, I don't know the specifics, but his first opponent dropped out very late into the ordeal. They found a replacement. And here's for something I wish Mr. Steigerwald would take back to executive director, sir. I wish there should be a stricter rule about fighters that don't show up and make weight. Not enough a pound. His fill-in came in 10 pounds over, I heard. That's not cool. Don't take the fight if you can't make the weight, short notice, whatever.
Right.
But for poor Vince Meng, he didn't want to face the Meng Stang. This guy was way overweight the night before, couldn't make the weight. So Vince got kind of messed up. I hope the powers that be find him a fight for the next one and a good adversary, and we can make it up to him.
Great point, though.
Yeah, again,
Great
fighters
point
come
on
in, they don't have you have your paperwork done, your blood work done, your licenses, all your licenses.
Here's what I want to know. How come that's such a problem? You have to have this stuff done. Why is it a problem?
That's a problem that the promoters keep asking all the fighters. And again, you come in a pound or two over, you get hurt, that's one thing. We forgive that. But we'd like to see, I think all promoters would like to see guys that are continuous or regular violators. You talk about the best people, like of even local MMA. You know, the Rob Hannas, the Mike Wilkins, the Chris Debs. You never see them coming in not making weight. You don't see a Dominic Mazzotti. Right. You don't see any of these guys.
Mark Cherica.
Mark Cherica, Kama Worthy. These guys are professionals. They show up. Adam Milstead. They show up. They're on weight. They make. They have.
Kama was on our show and he had to lose like 27 pounds by the fight on a weekend. This is like over a year ago.
Okay.
And he did it.
If you can't do it, don't take the fight.
He did it. He said he doesn't have a problem.
Another guy like that is Charlie the Madman Gathers. He'll take a fight.
Yeah.
He's almost crazy, insane about
almost?
that. Well, all right. I was trying to be nice, but yeah.
Well,
but
he even admits to it. Last year
insane
was
amount
one
of
of the
weight
most remarkable, within a 40-pound range he was fighting. When he finally did his last fight, it was like 40 pounds less.
You give him 2 to 3 weeks and give him a weight, he'll make it and be there and put on. He may not win or he may win, but he'll fight his guts out. He'll make weight. He'll have his paperwork done, his blood work done. He'll make that show and he will give you.
He entertains
every bit if he can. And as a promoter, you look for 2 things: handle your business, come in on weight, have your paperwork done, and give your best entertaining fight, and sell tickets.
Right.
It's a business.
Yeah.
Come on, seriously.
You know what?
If you're from Cheswick and you have a fight in Cheswick and you sell,
Monroeville.
I won't hold that against you.
Finally brought it up. Hey,
but if you can't sell,
hold on. We need a timeout here. We're almost out of time. You went so deep on a couple good subjects that I had to let you roll. The first couple weren't that deep. But what do you have here on the end? I think we only got a minute left.
All right.
Kevin gave me the
make
sign,
your way to the show. All right.
And he's calling you number 1. I don't know what finger that is.
That was the middle finger, I think.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
Short and sweet.
Okay.
Here's the winners.
Pro fights. Brandon Soku Saylor, Jason Alexander. 32 seconds of round 2. Guillotine choke was Soku Saylor. Andrew Ozzy Osborne and Andrew Ozzy the Brute Osborne and Joey Holt. That was fight of the night, as by
Handsome.
No, not Handsome. No, he had his opinion, but no.
Okay.
This is Jason the Whip Willett. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that he's the official presenter of that, so I can't tell you that Jason the Whip Willett did what.
We're out of time. Get this.
453 seconds away from the end of round 2 KO win, and then Bone Crusher Jones and Josh Sandman Stansbury, round 1, 406. Stansbury win, and of course the main event, Pride of Bloomfield. None other than Mark Cherico in a very tough fight, beat Nate the Train Landwehr, rear naked choke, 144 second round. And thank you to Mark Cherico for everything he's done for MMA in Pittsburgh. He is an example to look up to. He's an honorable man. He's fought hard. He draws. He sells tickets, and he fights his guts out. He's an awesome man. Thank you for everything you've done, Mark. We're going to miss you. Hope to see you at the shows. Thank you, guys. Sorry.
And congratulations. No apology necessary. The information you got here is valuable. I
just started. And I cut that to a
That's enough. You did.
Sorry.
Thanks for watching our show. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, Smoking Jim Frazier. Stay Joey strong.